While everyone is up in arms about Roe versus Wade, I said, hey, this is probably a dangle and a distraction. And lo and behold, it is a distraction because the Pfizer had a major leak and drop of a 90,000 page report that revealed that pregnant women are affected by the V, and it revealed that the efficacy of the V is at 12%, not the 95% that we're constantly beating a dead horse into the propaganda. We always get 95% safe and effective, and then everyone repeats it like a drone. So those were revealed. The other thing that was revealed was that the tests done were predominantly animals and not humans. And so all of these things in the report, there's probably many more, they wanted to have this information not be revealed for 75 years. So it's very significant that we're able to get a leak of it now, because it reveals that a lot of the coercion and the propaganda and the constant pushing, incessant pushing, is truly not based in fact or science. And so this report is extremely incriminating for Pfizer and for the general propaganda machine. And so they quickly got a hot button emotional issue to press so that everyone is on that and not looking over here at the actual the true problem. Not saying that abortion isn't a problem, but I'm saying that was used as a smoke and mirrors and a distraction dangle so that you don't look at the Pfizer report. So, and another thing that of course is coming up within the fights about abortion are that people are saying, my body, my choice. And the people who were worried about the mandates also said, my body, my choice. That phrase, they wanted to extend bodily autonomy to both situations. And the people who are very much wanting the mandates for medicine, they said, well, this is a contagious disease, so this is different than an abortion. And my personal belief is that body autonomy is about you having the free will to decide what goes in your body, and you can make that decision, and even if it's a decision that might be wrong in the end, you have the freedom and right to have that free will, because only you get to assess a risk and consequence to your own body. And again, everyone has different circumstances. They all react to foods differently and can be allergic to certain things. So likewise, the ingredients in a vaccine sometimes can affect different people in different ways. So it's important to have the freedom to choose. Especially too, I've worked with people with disability in a disability organization, and many people with both physical and mental disabilities expressed a lot of hesitance with the V, and that's because they have specific situations they've dealt with medically their whole lives, and so some of them simply wanted to have the ability to wait and see, because this was a novel vaccine. Most vaccines are developed 10 to 15 years and have trials for that period of time before they were ever released to the public, whereas this was a rare situation where it was released in less than a year, and then it was just constantly glossed over as perfect, almost to the point of like a god to worship. And so the people with disabilities said, I have hesitancy, and it's valid because I simply don't have, there's not enough time to know one way or the other, and I've dealt with a lot of risk, and I don't want to add another risk to my life. And then there's people that simply, from the extreme pushiness and coercive tactics used, they were hesitant. And I think that's very valid, and I think it's very odd that they're demonized and villainized for actually being very sensible about the facts of the situation and not just repeating and kind of going along. Anyway, so the my body, my choice thing works both ways, I think, because I think that having the freedom to choose what you want to do is the paramount. And I think that it's interesting how people will just pick a team and then whatever that team believes go along on a very rigid way of thinking of every event. And so they'll think, oh, I believe in my body, my choice for this issue because my team does, but my team believes this for this, so I automatically go with what my team is telling me and the things I'm hearing from them and my group. And it's just, that's not a very sensible way of going about decisions. You've got to, to me the issue is extremely complex. There is many variables to consider, and that both pro-choice and pro-life have validity. And I believe that with the my body, my choice, with vaccines and with abortion, that extending that phrase to both is extremely valid. And so I wish that there could be a little more, discernment when we see that something that's an emotional hot button issue that gets everyone riled up. When we see that, our first question shouldn't actually be about getting embroiled in that fight. It should be, wait a second, so what do they not want me to see? What is this distracting me from? And that will get you at the truth. Because lo and behold, I had that instinct, and then it was uncovered. I saw a day later, oh, Pfizer is doing a dump. Or they're not doing a dump. They had a leak with a document that they wanted to have kept hidden for 75 years. And lo and behold, interestingly, it impacts women. It impacts pregnant women. So it's interesting that the dangle and distraction is about abortion when the event they're trying to hide from is actually about how vaccines negatively impact pregnant women, not like the way that they advertised it at all. They emphasized that it was completely safe. I think they said probably 98%. They always have percents in the 90s. So anyway, it's worth, whenever something is brought up, to pause and think, okay, am I being manipulated? What's the actual situation they don't want me to see? And it'll keep you from being foolish.